And right now, I guess we can bring in Mike Cozzi and check sports. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm pretty good.
You guys got a lot of rain down there yesterday, didn't you?
Last night, yeah, a lot of rain.
It's all states.
Stopped earlier than they thought, and the sun is out now, but we got a lot of rain last night.
Going to affect racing down there at all, you think?
Racing where? Here?
Yeah.
At Yucca Flats?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'd probably be off the turf until Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right.
There you go. Grass racing has been canceled at Monmouth Park for the remainder of the year.
I don't believe you.
Well, they probably won't run. They won't run it on it today, and probably not tomorrow because next week's their showcase, Lipstick on the Pig Haskell Day.
Okay.
So they got to save the grass for that.
All right. So where do you want to start off in sports?
Not much going on. There was only one Major League game last night, and the Astros started less than a Major League pitcher to begin the game, and Texas took advantage of it and jumped out early 4-0, wound up holding on, winning 5-0, and that was the end of that game. However, listening to it last night, when the game goes south early, they need filler.
They got to talk.
So Harpo, Zeppo, and Chico were talking last night, and a plethora of stupidity came out of their mouth as usual. And they were saying how Joe Torre came down on Verlander, that the pitchers need to keep their mouths shut because, according to Mr. Rodriguez, they don't have enough of data. They should wait about 30 years, was the words out of his mouth, to have the data on the baseball if it's juiced up enough. Well, Mr. Rodriguez, the first year that they are using the Major League Baseball in AAA, home runs are up over 50%. That's enough data to make any kind of statement you want. So that strikes out Harpo, Zeppo, and Chico for question number one. And number two, which I had to stop and replay like I did the other night when they miscounted the home runs in the Home Run Derby, and I counted them to make sure I was right. They say that the pitchers complain too much and that they have long-term contracts, so they shouldn't really complain about it. What? Well, your performance will affect your future contracts, and when you're pitching with a Titleist, it boosts up your ERA, so pitchers have every right to complain about the ball. When they lower the seams and you can't make the ball move, when they put a different kind of leather on it, you can't grab it. When it's so tight, you can't grab it. Pitchers have every right to complain about it, whether they're a rookie, a 15-year veteran, have a 1-year contract, or a 15-year contract. Just how stupid are these people that get paid to talk on TV?
Yeah, well, if they're so stupid that during the All-Star game, they asked the outfielders, the 3 outfielders in the first inning for the National League, what they thought about the juiced-up ball.
Well, what do you think they're going to say? Are they hitters or pitchers?
That's exactly
they see nothing wrong with the ball. I heard it. Nothing wrong with the ball. Keep it the way it is. Because your numbers are juiced up like the ball is.
But I'm just telling you that tells you. I mean, you can't look at this year. You cannot look at this year and see the amount of home runs everybody is hitting. And don't tell me it's because they figured out how to launch angle and stuff like that. That's BS.
Ball's juiced.
That's the ball is flying out of there. It's like they have fungo bats.
It's real easy to say what's going on with baseball. Right. The balls are juiced. They say that the fans want home runs, so batters are swinging from their heels, striking out more. When they hit it harder, and out it goes. Right. That's it. It's a real simple thing to explain. And all of these softball tossed-up questions that they give to players and managers and whoever else, it's just like when, remember Back to School when Rodney Dangerfield was in all kinds of trouble?
That's right.
Remember the movie when he was in all kinds of trouble? Yeah. And what did he do? I think his name was Sturvik or something, whatever. He had a real crazy name. He donated $3 million to build a new wing. That's right. So the dean, whose name was Dean Martin appropriately, they asked the dean, they said, "Dean, do you see anything wrong with Mr. Sturvik's scholastics and his activity in the school?" He says, "I don't seem to see a problem." Right. So I guess the $3 million spoke. And that's exactly what's going on with baseball. I don't see a problem. It's becoming unwatchable like the NBA.
Instead of letting the players juice, they juice the ball. Is what they did.
Yes, something's always juiced with baseball.
Yep.
They got to keep on hitting those 9,000-foot home runs. Guy hits 60 home runs, strikes out 180 times. That's productivity.
You're going to have 150, 160-pound, shortstop from Minnesota. What is he? Probably hit 60 home runs this year.
Well, like me and my friend were chatting the other day, we said Felix Millan and Horace Clarke could probably both hit 50 home runs this year.
When you go back to the days of Babe Ruth, and I know people are saying, "Oh, Marshall, you know what people don't realize about Babe Ruth?
He used to hit rocks.
He used to hit rocks. Look at the gloves they had back then.
They were non-existent. They were like snow gloves.
And do you know who led the league in stealing home one year was? Babe Ruth.
Well, stealing home's not a big deal.
No, but all I'm saying is,
but here's another thing. In the Atlantic League, which is, I don't know what kind of league it is. It's not the South Atlantic League. It's an Atlantic League, and I don't even want to try to research how this is possible. You can steal first base.
Okay.
Yeah, you can steal first base. It has something to do with the catcher missing a ball at any time. I guess you can give up your at-bat and run to first. Did you ever hear something so stupid in your life?
Yeah, the automatic walk. What they do, where they don't throw the intentional,
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Boy, oh boy, talk about changing things to make it worse.
Growing up, when I was growing up, I saw a lot of different good ball players reach out and poke a signal on a single on an unintentional walk.
When I could beat that. Playing in a men's league, I saw a guy named Ray McGee hit a home run on a pitch out. There you go.
Yeah.
Anything could happen, and that's the thing about baseball. Anything can happen on any play. Even with the pitch out, I've seen pitchers throw a strike. I've seen pitchers miss the catcher, and a guy from second goes to third. A guy from third scores. Play the play. Play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Stop all this garbage.
All right. Well, I think we're pretty. Oh, racing! Got some races today. How did we do it at?
Well, we had the lead and spit it out at the 16th pole. I think we wound up running 5th yesterday.
All right.
And then the rains came, and Saratoga turned into a swamp. Real quick for today, the third race at Saratoga is a turf race. I don't know if they're going to run on the turf or not. So I'm picking a horse that I think can run on either surface. In the third race today, the 3-horse Complicit by Blame has been running on the turf, but has the breeding to run on the dirt, training good on the dirt. 3-horse in the third race play of the day today is Complicit at Saratoga. Our plays for the weekend at Saratoga. And while we're bashing, let's bash Saratoga. The Grade 1 Diana is tomorrow. It draws 6 horses. Now listen carefully, folks. There's 6 horses in the race. 4 of them are trained by one trainer, Chad Brown. 3 of those Chad Brown 4 horses are owned by the same owner, Peter Brandt.
Okay. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Okay. In the 9th race at Saratoga tomorrow, I'm going with the 5-horse Secret Message trained by Graham Motion, only because I want to see Chad Brown lose. So my pick tomorrow at Saratoga is in the 9th race, the 5-horse and Diana Secret Message, because I want to see Chad Brown lose. To real racing tomorrow, we're going to Indiana Grand. 6th race tomorrow is called the Warrior Veterans. I believe this has something to do with our veterans of foreign wars. It's a nice race. It's 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf, draws 8 horses in here. The 8-horse Dot Matrix, trained by Brad Cox, 1-for-1 at Indiana. 14 starts at this distance in the money 10 times with 5 wins. Ran a nice race at Indiana last year in July in this race, winning. Has a tightener at Churchill Downs in May for this race, which it won as well. 4-to-1 morning line on this horse, training well at Churchill. Dot Matrix, the 8-horse, is going to be one of my plays in the 6th race. My other play is going to be the 2-horse, All Right. If you remember back to the night racing stakes card at Churchill Downs, I like this horse, All Right. And All Right only lost by a neck at 71-1. Would have really made my night All Right if he got up. So my 2 plays in this race tomorrow in the 6th at Indiana is the 2-horse All Right and the 8-horse Dot Matrix. Their big race of the night is the 9th race, the Indiana Derby. 1 mile and 1/16 on the dirt for $500,000. Draws a field of 11. The 11, Mr. Money, tough post outside for Brett Calhoun, is the 6-5 morning line favorite. This horse is coming off 2 wins at Churchill in the Pat Day Mile and the Matt win. 60 cents on a dollar last time in the Matt win. I'm going to try to beat this horse tomorrow. I'm going to take 3 shots. The one horse, Roland, is a grinder who doesn't win much. But this horse, like I said, is a grinder, going to sit the rail, trying to sit a trip. Will be coming at the end. Will definitely be a huge price of 20 to 1 or more. So I'm going to throw that horse in my number. The 6 horse, Always Mining, Kelly Rubley runner, was very, very good this winter in Laurel. Took the big shot in the easy goer on Belmont Day. Ran okay, ran 4th, got beat by 2. Was favored in that race. There's another horses of those that likes in this race tomorrow. So Always Mining at 8 to 1 is a very attractive play. And another horse I like in here who ran well in Oaklawn for us and won at 8 to 1 in the Rebel. The 9 horse, Long Range Toddy. After the Rebel, this horse caught a wet track 2 times in the Arkansas Derby and the Kentucky Derby. Obviously didn't like the wet. Those 2 races are a toss. Next time out at Thistle Downs, running the 1.125 Ohio Derby, where I think they go around the track 4 times. This horse ran a decent 3rd, but his closing pattern does not fit Thistle Downs with the bull ring surface. So I'm going to give this horse another shot tomorrow. And I said again at 12 to 1, this horse is an attractive play. So I'm going to box 3 bombs in the Indiana Derby: the 1 Roland, the 6 Always Mining, and the 9 Long Range Toddy. And at 6 to 5, we're not going to make any money with Mr. Money, so we might as well try to beat him. And those are our races for tomorrow.